What is happening in AJ Gamer Dude here, and I'm going to ask you a quick question. What do you think about the video game industry as a whole when it comes to hiring and firing workers? Because back in the day, we're probably talking about late 2000s to early 2010s. Around this time, a lot of people were being hired into video game companies in order to start or maintain the production of a game, and then when the game releases, they just let everyone go, and then they start fresh by hiring a new batch of people to then do another game, and then that would constantly be the endless cycle. Now, that cycle was mostly attributed to companies like EA, which made them one of the most hated video game companies in the world at the time, and we're probably talking about 2011, 2012, and maybe around 2013-ish as well. Anyway, and that seems like a product of its time because EA is actually doing pretty damn good now compared to a lot of other companies, namely say Ubisoft, when Ubisoft was actually the golden goose, one of the golden geese back in the day, compared to how it is now. I mean, Far Cry 3, anyone? But with all that said and done though, it's hard to understand why a lot of people are being fired, and in fact we're already 30% of the way to reaching the actual amount of people that lost their jobs last year. And what makes this even more terrifying is the fact that too many people were hired to try and make too much money because of the pandemic that came and went. And now, at this point, that pandemic bubble has bursted, so much so that it seems like there's a very good estimation that if last year was the year of layoffs, that this year would be the year of closures, that many companies are going to have to, well, video game companies specifically, because I'm only going to stay within the realms of the video game sphere because this is what I live and breathe after all, compared to like say other industries in the world, are going to be shutting down. And this was actually coming from the own director of Circana. I can't remember what his name was, previously known as MPD. I really cannot remember his name, but it was forecasted that potentially a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs, and that is also due to, in no small way, a forecast from forecasting from the pandemic era of people hiring, as games were actually selling a lot during the time because people were stuck at home with nothing better to do except for some reason, a very sharp increase in domestic violence for some reason, but I digress. So ultimately, I was going to bring up a tweet by Imran Khan, who works in the games industry, of course. And he actually tweeted something, but unfortunately, because of the way X works, his tweets weren't actually in order of like when they were tweeted. Instead, it's like all over the place. Like the third or fourth tweet was like from 2019 or 2021, and I'm just like, I'm confused. I can't find it, so I'm just going to talk about it instead, which went along the lines of, a lot of people are losing their jobs. You know, what bubble burst exactly? Because it seemed like everyone was kind of overflowing with money, that like it's almost like an economical bubble burst within the actual games industry. And it was, what was that bubble that happened? And it turns out, I think one of the developers, or a group of like high ranking developers, kind of like weighed in on that and said it wasn't necessarily so much of a bubble, but like a over hiring of people in the years of 2020 and 2021 because of how high video game sales were back during pandemic era, to the point where people are not buying games as much as they did before, and so that forecast that they did was not sustainable, and they didn't actually have an infinite money glitch as companies kind of predicted that they would. And as a result of that, due to one single bad decision that was made of overhiring in order to make more projects, in order to push them out at a higher price, it seems like now that's going to be shortening quite a bit as less games are released of hopefully higher quality with shorter development cycles. And of course, as we could probably assume, those games are also likely going to be shorter as well. So more of that is going to be pushed out. in an attempt to try and save money. Otherwise, if you spend too much and you don't make up those returns, then that company is going to be shutting down. And that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier on when I said that this may very well be the year of closures as opposed to year of, as last year was the year of layoffs. Now, of course, like around 10,000 people were laid off within the industry, and another, like, already this year, even though it's only been like nearly a month in, we've already like lost 3,000 people. So we're already like 30% of the way there, and it's unfortunate to see that we're in this space at all. But those are kind of like what's going on, and it is an unfortunate thing, but I'm 100% sure we are going to surpass the 10K that we did lose. But the question is, how many companies are going to be shutting down this year? It's really just a guessing game. I think there's going to be quite a few, though I'm going to be surprised to see who are going to be shutting down anyway. So if there is any particularly notable shutdowns, for sure I am going to be covering them to the best of my ability. But with Riot Games shutting down like 11% of their staff does not help matters. That's why I've got this Reuters article in front of me, because this is like leading, this kind of adds what, like, I want to say about 300 more people to the list, because after the Riot Games layoffs, we're left with about 3,000 people losing their jobs. So that's kind of why I had this article up, just to kind of give you an idea of like what it is that I was going to be talking about, because I can't edit a video even if my life depended on it. But with all that said and done, let me know what you guys think about it. People losing their jobs in the industry down below. How many companies do you think are going to be shut down, and who do you think is going to be shut down? Actually, an even better question is, if you're going to say who's going to be shut down, I'd like to also know why, because that could happen for any number of reasons, and who knows, we might even have a psychic in the comments. We won't know until we actually, talk about it and guess. But do let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 200 subs by the end of the year. And I do want my videos to go out to more people. Hopefully some actual devs can kind of, provide their feelings into the comments below as well. But with all that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.